Hi guys, it's Smitha, back with another video. This time I'm doing a little spotlight on a brand that I've been really excited to talk about called Rituel de Fille. I'll pop the spelling of the brand up here. I've known about them for a little while. I actually learned a lot more about them from one of my friends, Andromeda on Instagram, whose handle I'm going to put up here as well. They do a lot of great content using Rituel de Fille products. I know that they've loved them for a super long time and are always, just creating beautiful looks. They also share some swatches as well. But I received a few products in PR several months ago. They sent me some highlighters and some of their eye products, and I fell head over heels for everything that I tried. And with my own budget, I have since made several purchases and been testing out the products for many months, and I find that I'm constantly reaching for them. I'm constantly wanting to use them, travel with them. So I thought I would just talk about a few things that I really like about the products. So first of all, they are a small indie brand based out of Los Angeles. They produce things in small batches, and they have mostly a focus on cream and liquid products. From what I can tell, they have a few skincare items, and they do a few complexion products, and then a lot of color cosmetics. And so yeah, basically I started off by trying a few of the highlighters, and then it was actually pretty close to being right before the Black Friday sale, so I was able to pick up more products then. And that's another thing I want to mention, is that I would say that I would consider them to be a luxury brand, although they have quite a number of sales if you follow them on Instagram, that they announce. And they also, when they do releases of new products, they often have little deals, actually substantial deals on those new products. So I would say it's worth just following them and keeping an eye if you've been wanting to try them and snag them on a deal. It's definitely possible, and I would recommend trying to do that. So anyway, my goal today was, it's way too much to do a kind of deep dive on everything that they have. So I thought I would focus on doing some swatches of the blushes that I have, the highlights, and then doing a quick look. I did do a full face of Rituel de Fille, and so I'll talk through what I use, but I think I'm gonna come back and do another couple of videos on some of the other products, just because I don't want this video to be too long. So anyway, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and show you a few of the type of products that I've tried, and talk a little bit about how you can use them, and why I have gravitated toward them over the past few months or so. All right, I'm refilming this part of the video because I had a little lipstick mishap, but basically what I wanted to say is the reason why I really love Rituel de Fille is because one is, I love the aesthetic of the brand. The packaging is beautiful, sleek, very aesthetically pleasing. For example, a lot of the products come in, not all of them, but a number of the products come in these little compacts, like this. This is one of their kind of foundation concealer combos. My shade is Iris. I'll just open this so you can see it. And then a lot of their other products, like their Inner Glow pigments, which are basically multi-use pigments, eyes, lips, cheeks, come in the same type of containers. And I have been really enjoying using these products with my fingers. I know that, you know, I've seen a lot of people use them with sponges, brushes, anything you want, but for me, something that I really like about cream products like this is that I can use them with my fingers. I am, you know, as a lot of you know, I have a little toddler, so, you know, I don't often do makeup when she's at home, but if I need to do a look quickly, then, you know, I find these products to be very approachable while still being very impactful, which I appreciate. And then again, this is another one of the type of products. This is one of their highlighters, also come in the same type of compacts. So yeah, those are just some reasons that I really gravitate toward the products. I do find that they lend themselves not only to ease of application, but that they are also, they have the potential to be extremely artistic while still being very approachable, very impactful. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into the swatches of my blushes and my highlighters, and then show you look, come back with my final thoughts. Starting off with the Fawn, which is described as a dewy electric pink. Again, this is a cream highlight. So I'll go ahead and show a little swatch on my finger. There we go. Ooh, so pretty. And then I'll go ahead and try to show a swatch on my palm here. So, on the back of my hand, rather. See if I can get a good view of that in the sun. These highlights are just magical, and they can be used on the top of your cheekbones as inner corner highlights, really just however you like to use highlights, but they are just like the type of highlights that you see from outer space. Next is the Siren, and this shade is described as a blush gold highlighter with a sunlit shift. And there it is on my fingertip. Ooh, I love this. And I love how this shade in particular looks on me with a warm skin tone with kind of yellow undertones, is what I've always been told that I have. And there it is on the back of my hand. Next is Anthelion. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And this is described as a striking gold luminizer that shifts with a subtle red-orange. And this is what it looks like on my fingertip. Let's see if I can get a little bit less shadow. And there it is on the back of my hand. Again, I think that this shade is great for people with warm undertones. Not that it wouldn't be good on other people, but I do think it complements warm undertones well. And then we have the Eye. This is one of my favorite shades. Just so magical. It's described as a gossamer blue violet with vivid shifting radiance. This shade is currently sold out, but hopefully they're going to restock it. This is what it looks like on my fingertip. And swatched on the back of my hand. Next we have the Enchantress. Again, a super magical shade. This is described as a bioluminescent extraterrestrial aqua shift. I love these descriptions. Okay, here we go. This is what it looks like on my fingertip. Get a little bit more. And then swatched on the back of my hand. There are some similar vibes between the shade and the eye for sure. Like the Chimera, this is the last shade that I have in this type of formula, and it's described as a luminous lime blossom. I've heard from a number of people that this is their absolute favorite shade, so I would say I've heard that it's a fan favorite. This is what it looks like on my fingertip. And then swatched on the back of my hand. I know I feel like I've said this about all of the shades, but I absolutely love this one. I think if I were to pick my favorites, it would probably be this, the Eye, and the Enchantress. Alright, on to the blushes. Starting off with, I think, one of my favorite shades, which is called Bloodflower, and it's described as a cherry red glaze. I would say that's pretty accurate. The great thing about these blushes is that although they have a lot of pigment, they can be sheared out. They're also great multi-use products. So I've seen great shots of people using them as on the lips and on the eyes as well. I think you can tell from that swatch. That's a pretty sheer swatch, but I will show you what it looks like a little more built up. That's the second layer, and then a third layer. Sorry, the sparkle is from the highlight swatches. Okay. Then we have Snapdragon, and this is described as a dewy, bright orange. I again would say that is pretty accurate. Here it is on the finger. There's a couple layers built up again. Can definitely be sheared up or built up for the type of intensity that you're looking for, the type of look that you're looking for. Next is the Eclipse. This is actually called an inner glow highlight or inner glow pigment. I've been using them as blushes. This shade I actually also have tried on the eye, and it's a black, although I would say it's almost a cross between an aubergine, a really kind of deep aubergine, and a black. There it is on my fingertip. Looks great on the lips and on the eye as well. Love this shade. Again, like, I've never seen a brand that has this type of product, a black, you know, multi-use. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, but I just find it to be pretty unique, really cool, and that's just a single swipe. Then we have Frenzy. This is described as a lustrous berry. There it is on my fingertip. And swatched on the back of my hand. And last we have Euphoria. This is described as a mahogany. And this one can be, again, it's multi-use. For me, I think I would use it more as a contour, just because I think that the kind of cool tone brown and it being kind of the right shade for contour for me would work pretty well. And there it is, swatched on the back of my hand. All right, that's the last of the shades to get through of my highlights and blushes. So I hope that going through all of these was helpful for you, or just that you enjoyed seeing it. So I'll go ahead and kind of go back to my full face tutorial. All right, see you later. My first step is always my trusty Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. Never forget your SPF. Then I use a few drops of the Rituel de Fille Thorn Oil, which serves as a great base for your makeup. Rub it in super well. It is colorless. Ethereal Veil Conceal and Cover in the shade Iris. I use this as a foundation and a spot concealer, and I find it works really well, and the shade matches great. Look how natural the finish is. Then I used the Color Nectar Pigment Balm in the shade Bloodflower. I went in with the first layer, kind of sheared it out, and then came back with the second layer, and it built up really nicely. I did all the blending with my fingers, and I found that it did not lift up the foundation. Then I added the Metamorphic highlight in the shade The Eye. I mean, just look at that. Top of the cheekbones. Look at how shiny that is. Didn't accentuate texture at all. Went in with a second layer and then kind of patted it and smoothed it out. Crystalline Matter Eye Soot in the shade Moonstone. Applying it with my finger. Went on a little flaky, but once it was smoothed out, it was melted into my skin super well, and this is not over any primer. Enchanted Lip Sheer in the shade Bloodroot. I thought this color really complemented the blush shade Bloodflower. Built it up a little. Then I went off camera and added eyeliner. All right, so now that you've seen a little intro, things I like about the product, swatches, and a look, hopefully you can tell that I've been having a blast using Rituel de Fille products, and I'm definitely going to come back with more videos on some of the other products when they have new launches, stuff like that. They did come out with some lip oils recently, and I picked up a few shades. I'm super excited to try out a new formula from them, and if there's any other type of content that you'd like to see with Rituel de Fille, or if there are other brands that you think that I have or that you'd like to see more of, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. So again, I am Glam Smitty on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you again. All right, have a great day. Bye.